A new push to make English the official language at businesses and workplaces all across the United States. A new bill entitled the Common Sense English Act would allow employers to require workers to speak only English at workplaces. The legislation comes after a lawsuit was filed against the Salvation Army, for crying out loud, because the Salvation Army demands that its employees speak English. Luis Schiavone has our report.
The charitable group behind this bell ringer and thousands like him is facing a federal lawsuit. The Salvation Army is still defending itself against charges filed last spring, saying it unfairly fired workers for not speaking English after having given them a year to learn it. Congressman Tom Price thinks that lawsuit is ridiculous.
It's a matter of safety. It's a matter of communication. We aren't forcing it on anybody, but we ought to certainly allow it and protect employers so they're not sued by their own government if they require individuals to speak English.
With the support of dozens of colleagues, including top House Republicans, Price has introduced the Common Sense English Act, assuring U.S. employers of the right to require their workers to speak English on the job. Most Americans, says Price, think that's fair. We asked people whether they thought an employer should be able to require workers to speak English on the job.
For most of American history, being an American involves learning English, and I think that's an important tradition to keep.
If it's a requirement of the job to be able to do the job effectively, then it's a legitimate thing to ask.
It's in the interest of the job applicant himself to actually learn the language first and then do a job, and I think he'll do a better job if he learns the language.
The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission lays out the rules this way. An employer may implement an English-only rule as long as there's a legitimate business reason. The agency has 5 active lawsuits pending involving English-only rules. The Salvation Army, meanwhile, expects to win its case, stating, quote, "Our employment policies serve only to protect the welfare and safety of our employees and those whom we serve," end quote. Well, this summer, a CNN poll found fully 3/4 of those surveyed support the concept of declaring English the official language of the United States. Another sign, say many in Congress, that an English in the workplace requirement is simply common sense.